What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a video to talk about errata cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are they good? Are they bad for the game? And what are my personal thoughts on the subject? Now recently news broke that the new Gold series is going to have Crush Card Virus within it. And it's got duelists talking about the potential of it coming off of the ban list with the new errata text that was released over in the OCG just a little while back. So for those of you guys who do not know, the effect of Crush Card was changed to tribute one dark monster with 1,000 attack or less. Your opponent takes no damage until the end of the next turn. Also, look at your opponent's hand and all monsters they control, and if you do, destroy the monsters among them with 1,500 attack or more. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1,500 or more attack in their deck. Now that is quite a bit different than the original text that Crush Card Virus had. Now Konami did this as a way to sort of balance out the effect and not make it so OP so Crush Card can finally come off of the forbidden list and be allowed to be used in duels. But the biggest question that most players have is, are these changes really necessary? Do they help the game by releasing Crush Card in a much more watered down version than what it originally was? A lot of players are saying that it's sacrilege to change the effects so much that they don't even come close to matching what the original card was capable of doing, while others see it as a great opportunity to once again play with cards that their favorite duelists used in the original anime series. For me personally, I'm a little bit on the fence on the subject. On one hand, I'm very excited about being able to use these cards that have been sitting in my binders collecting dust for so long. But on the other hand, the reason why one might really want to use that card is because of the original effect it had. So bringing it back with a much different effect is really like not getting the card back at all. You're really just getting a different card with the same name. Another thing that could happen if these errata card changes start to become more prevalent and popular within the game is that Konami could probably go ahead and do away with a ban list altogether. If there's a card that is released that is just too powerful, too broken for the game, why should Konami place any card on the forbidden list if they can just re-release it with a much more toned down version of the effect to make it a lot more palatable for the community? Now, I've also heard others advocate towards these errata changes for hopes that it might allow some other cards to come off the list that many duelists are hoping to see return to us. Cards like Elemental Hero Stratos. I've heard players talk about maybe if his effect was errata to once per turn, he gets to go ahead and search out another elemental hero instead of whenever he is summoned. Konami might be more willing to allow the card to return to the game. Now, while the thought of getting cards like Stratos back is very tempting, others do point out that there is such a huge power creep within Yu-Gi-Oh! That a lot of the times cards we never thought we'd see come off of the forbidden list do eventually make their way back to us. Cards like Regeki and Snatch Steel, Goyo Guardian. If you would have asked me maybe a year or two ago if any of these cards would ever come off the list, I would have had to say, no, are you crazy? They would kill whatever meta or format that they're in. But somehow with those cards still at our disposal, the game seems to have gone on just fine. So eventually all the cards should be returned back to us because of the power creep within the game. So, down in the comment section below, remember to let me know your guys' thoughts on this subject. Do you think errata cards are good for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Or would you have preferred that those cards stay on the forbidden list with their original tech for as long as it took before they were power creeped out? And I guess that's it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.